Hey guys, welcome back to the Golden Lions lair. Okay, I'm kind of going with that for now. It's Thursday, it's fucking hot. But we had a full day, full of activities. Um, so very busy, but we made it through. I hope you have had a successful week so far. I mean, it's out of seven, we like just over the bump, right? It's like the fourth out of four out of seven, so not far to go. Kind of measure your success the last couple of days and see how you can do Friday and Saturday. And some of you might have discussed having like a cheat meal with me on Sunday. If you haven't yet, have a chat with me. We can talk about that. And some of you, of course, don't. So have a chat with me and we'll see what happens. But try to really get a couple of good. If you had a couple of good days, let's say 4 days, 100%, that's awesome. Take that as far as you can. The idea around cheat meals is sometimes it's difficult to come back from there. If you've had a big cheat meal or something on Sunday, sometimes it takes you Monday, Tuesday to recover. And it's from seeing it, from experiencing it, and all that. Where sometimes athletes say it's easier to stick to the diet if I'm not cheating once a week and so on. So that's something that you can play with. I don't think everybody's mindsets are the same. Not everybody's goals and the time you have available is the same. So consider that. Think about that. But the important thing I actually wanted to talk about is external and probably internal influence, right? It's sometimes you'll hear voices creep up in your head saying, take a break, you can't do this, you can't do that, you shouldn't do this, take a nap, or I don't know what, that's what mine says a lot. Take a nap, take a break. And I listen, I do, you have to listen. Like, I work hard, so I really do need to take a break. Whenever I really feel tired, I put time out. It's very important for your recovery, and that's where your growth comes from. If you don't understand that, talk to me, I'll explain it. It's very important. You don't grow in the gym, you grow outside when you eat and take the right stuff and you rest. That's when you're recovering, when you're growing, okay? Anyway, so be careful for external. That's not talking about internal, negative influence, talking to yourself too much, talking yourself out of things sometimes. And then of course, external being sometimes having a negative influence from the outside, confirming the bad thoughts, right? Confirming the negative sometimes. Laziness wants a partner, it's so it's not necessarily always like sometimes people that do it on purpose. I'm like, you can't get angry at people for the way they are sometimes, or the things that they say, because they don't do it on purpose. They always say kind of people project a lot of their fears onto you. So if you do something, they immediately think, would they do it? If they would do it, why wouldn't they? And if it's something that people could be scared of, something that's difficult, people would say, oh, this, that, so they kind of project how they would perceive that experience. So having considered everything you've considered, you've made a decision where the things they might have not even have been considering everything. They don't really think of everything. For them, it's just a lot of work, and they don't understand goals, so, and that's to each their own, I guess. But don't let external influence pull you off a path that you've decided for good reason you're on, Okay, I'm trying to keep it short. And I'm thinking about what I want to show you guys tonight. And there's so many things, and a lot of it is so principle based. It's all just the kind of have a good, I'm so careful to use the word explosive, but a good powerful movement up, like when you're doing a bicep curl, or when you're doing a leg extension, even a controlled, powerful movement with hammy curls and stuff, and in a slow release, like 2 seconds. A little bit about, like we talked about the carbs last night. You can really implement that in, I want to say most, if not all, exercises. That slow, that control, and then getting your reps deep enough so that you can use the full negative, on your movements. People like, why would you only get 60% of the growth or the type of progress that you expect? You're only doing half of your reps. You're only focusing on the pushing away, not the slow control back. That's where the other half of the rep is, you know. That's a very important point. So I'm going to talk to you some nights about principles. These are principles that you can implement in now already in all of your exercises. It's going to take me some time to get to individuals, and please comment below if there are exercises that you want me to see. Please like the video, share it with you if you think friends that could benefit from this, people that are complaining too much about internal and external. If you see it, people are complaining, and internal external influence is something that you might identify, because some people are more aware than others of these types of things. I always say some people, they play the game so hard, you know, they don't stop and see themselves sometimes when they do things, and then they're doing something completely ridiculous only because they're just not present. They're too much about tomorrow, too much about yesterday. So be too much about now. That's very important. Be focused on what we're doing now. Now I still want to show you something. So let's see if I can cook something up. So essentially, yeah, I'm kind of standing where, you know, you would be doing like one arm rows, is something people like to do. It's an exercise I like to. And then something you can consider for your seated rows, for your barbell rows. You can even do this, you know, dumbbell rows, but keep these important parts in mind. Kind of your back straight, you see, kind of pushing my bum out, if that makes any sense. And keep your back nice and flat. You see there, I'm dropping the weight and I pull my elbow to my hip. Back, nice and stretch, elbow to my back. So it's less of your arm that you're pulling with and more with your body back. You see, slow and up. Don't lift your head, just kind of now when I'm looking back that's happening, but you see there, control. That's it. And keep your elbows nice and tight with this movement. You see there, I don't want too much of flaring out. If you want to do that purposefully, right? With intent. And then know what you're doing when you do that. You should be able to explain yourself, you know. With this, keep the elbows nice and tight. Good contraction. Remember to pull your elbows kind of to the hip, a little bit back to get that good contraction. And when you're doing heavier, there'll be less of. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.